Okay, Dave. I am starting my all-grain brew, and so I'll let you know kind of what I'm doing now. I got the water heating up. So first, what you have to do is you have to calculate your boil off. Essentially, how much water are you losing as the thing boils. Now, I calculated based off of my gas burner, my electric stove last time, and I'm using the propane heater for the outside cooker thing. My boil off was essentially 2 cups. So, and that was at 30 minutes. So you have to double that to get four cups would be my boil off for a gallon. That's just the way that I was told to do it. I don't have a reason that's real solid based off of that's what I was told to do. The next thing you got to do is you got to calculate your grain absorption, and that is a calculation. I forget exactly what it was, but I looked it up. Essentially, it's 4 cups based off of what I'm doing. So I have to add essentially 8 cups, 1.5 quarts to my gallon of water, so my finished brew will be about a gallon. Now, this is all my old chicken scratch from last time, so just to kind of refresh my memory, and I'm going to write it down. So what I got you going on right now is outside, if you can see it, you should, yep, I have set up the propane heater and everything. So the first step that I have to do is bring the water to 150 degrees. When I get to 150 degrees, I'm then going to go ahead and add essentially my mash, okay? Just all the grains and everything. Let me open this sucker up here. I got it all in here. It's a good seal. And I'll show you how I do that. Oh, come on. Ooh, I can smell that. The hops. Okay, so essentially, inside here is my grains. Okay, whew, those hops. Oh, that's hops. Wow. All right, so, whew, I'm not a big hop guy. All right, so I got 2 of these. They're essentially socks, okay? It's not a sock, but that's what it is. I'm going to put all my grains in this bag into the sock, okay? And then in this bag, I'm going to take it and throw it into the water at 150 degrees. And essentially what that's doing is that's converting into 2 different types of enzymes, if you can see that. They're basically called alpha enzymes and beta enzymes. The alpha enzymes are more of a bodied texture. It gives the beer more flavor, whereas the beta enzymes create more alcohol. So at around 130 to 140, you get more beta. At 150, you get more of the flavor. Since this is a brown ale, I'm going for 150 degrees. That's what I did last time. So about 150 degrees, it seemed like it worked real well. So I'm going to take all of that, throw it in my sock, and then it's got to go ahead and sit in the water for an hour. So I'll show you that when I'm getting ready to do it. This is a long process. You got to throw it in for an hour, then I'm going to take it out and basically it's steeping. You're like steeping tea, so it's going to steep for an hour. Then I'm going to take it out and drain it, and I'm going to turn it up to a full boil. At 60 minutes, I'm going to throw in my hops. Basically, the hops are the very last thing that goes into this thing, and typically you do a boil for 60 minutes. So it's like the hops are just bam, you add them, then you're done. At least I think that's how the recipe calls for it. I gotta check that. Essentially then what I'm going to do this time, last time I just threw the hops in, just raw like this, and I didn't like it. I think maybe that was a little bit, I think it was too much. So I bought another one of these little mini socks for the hops, and I'm going to throw the hops in there and see if that changes it a little bit. Again, I'm trying to get the recipe down. I went over Rick's tonight, and he had the last batch of my beer that I brewed last time, and so it's been about 3 weeks. It's been sitting for probably about 3 weeks. So I fermented it for a week. I conditioned it for a week, which means carbonate it. And then it sat for 2 more weeks, so I guess 4. And today it was awesome. It tasted exactly like I wanted to. Really good beer. So if I can do that again, I will. And I think the trick is just to let it sit. I'll come back when we're ready to do this. We're using dry ale yeast. That's what I used last time, just because I'm making a gallon batch. If you get there's a liquid kind of yeast, but it's like 15 bucks. This is $4. This is the most expensive thing out of all of it. I mean, the pound, this is not much. I think this was like, I don't know, $4 or something. You know, these are nothing. I think this was like 60 cents. I mean, all we're talking about is grain. So the yeast was the most expensive part. Anyway, I'll show you when my water's at 150 degrees. The way I measure that is the cheap way. This is the John way. Hold on a second. I find it. I don't know. It's one of those little turkey meat thermometers. That's what I use. Heather, where's my meat thermometer? I don't know. It's in here somewhere. So I'm just going to use that, and then that's what I use to test my temperature. It worked last time, so that's what I'm going to do this time. Anyway, that's that.